This is BTV News at 9 o'clock, coming to you live from the capital, Gaborone. I am Khomotso Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. New commissioners of Botswana Police Service and Botswana prisons sworn in. BGCSE results out. And in sports, UB Rhino and Canon Jaguars to battle it out in the Knockout Cup match on Saturday. Interpreting in sign language is Topo Taposa. Good evening. President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi has sworn in the new Commissioner of Botswana Police Service, Ms. Dinah Marathe, and Commissioner of Botswana Prison Service, Mr. Anthony Mukento, at the office of the President this morning. Therein, he cited his utmost confidence in the duo in light of government's priorities of strengthening and building up the prisons and police services. This follows the two commissioners' appointment to their new assignments on the 28th of February this year. Ms. Marathe was the commissioner of Botswana Prisons, while Mr. Mukento was her deputy.
Being among the few senior public officers who were appointed, promoted and transferred over a week ago, Ms. Dinah Marathe and Mr. Anthony Mukento have now been officially admitted into their respective offices by President Masisi.
Yes, I'm very happy to do it because my appointment was genuinely vitalized the organizations and perform at a level they have never seen in their lives. Yes, all right. I have full confidence in them. And even in the advisement they share. Yes, so I expect nothing but to change.
Ms. Dinah Marathe is a woman of many firsts with an illustrious career to write home about and honorary badges in her name amassed during her over 3 decades-long tenure at the police service from 1983. She was appointed the first female prisons commissioner in 2021, but now expands her portfolio to being the woman at the helm of the Botswana Police Service as commissioner.
I'm not moving into this new territory alone. I'm moving into this new space with members of the Botswana Police Service, members of the prison service, and the general public. And I remain very humble and prepared to serve to the best of my abilities, and ask the good Lord to continue to guide me and give wisdom that I will need in abundance. And I believe that all is well with me. I thank His Excellency the President for having the trust in my abilities to serve this nation.
Promoted to the rank of Commissioner of Botswana Prison Service, Mukento takes over from Marathe, whose impressive achievements he praised. He is both distinguished and is hell-bent on contributing to a progressive prison service.
I'm taking over the prison service at a time when my predecessor, Marathe, had really put very good frameworks within which to operate and move with less difficulties, and we now have to go back to the drawing board, sit down and draw our plans and move on. We assure Botswana that we will continue where Marathe has left and aspire to go even higher.
Botswana Police and Prisons Service are an integral part of the criminal justice system, important in the sustainability of peace and security in the country. Utsidile Ongabetsi, BTV News, Gaborone.
Member of Parliament for Mahalape East, Mr. Yandani Boko, has resigned from Parliament and active politics with immediate effect. Mr. Boko made the announcement in Parliament on Thursday, citing personal reasons for the decision. Mr. Boko became the Mahalape East legislator in 2019 under the umbrella for democratic change as the first opposition member of Parliament in 53 years to be elected in that constituency. Mr. Boko's term was expected to end in 8 months' time when Botswana goes for general elections. In other news, Botswana Police Service is on track to introduce the use of drones along borders to fight the escalating cross-border crime. The Minister of Defence and Security, Mr. Kagiso Musi, informed residents of Mapoka about this development at the handing over of a police post in the village. The minister said he is confident that bringing policing services nearer to communities will effectively tackle crime in their areas. Bethany Mando has more.
Mapoka is one of the few villages in 30 West constituency that is a stone's throw from the Botswana-Zimbabwe boundary, and therefore cross-border crimes like car theft, smuggling of goods remains a major concern for the community.
Ikenehita ba moroka ine le sello sa kranya meno ona ne o tsedi dikgomo di le 32 tsa betsa khona go ela Botswana mme ka go thoka lesego mongami di ne tsa bulawa go le kwa go somarelwa e dikgomo tse di teng ka gore tsele ne re se re di thole di ka tswa le mogare mme kana re utleletse ka kwa di thoka mogare mongami re kle rana le sello sa dikoloi tse ne di utswa bosego le motshegare mme mongami ke batho re ke go lebogetsa tsieno ke leboge bana ba gago ina re o sena go lemoga seemo seo o no ema ka dinao wa isa bana ba gago go lining ka kwa since ba nna gone kwa 9 months ga go ise go utswe koloi
drone di a goroga ke dio dingwe tse leng gore di a go re thusa gore re patrole ka tsone di re thuse go nna le ba ba mo grounding go nna le tse di le mo phegong ka gore tsone di boeo di tsa dinepe be di romela be re kgona gore re responde gore ha ile gore mongwe o tlola ka dikgomo tsa gago re kgone gore re responde ka bohego re go attenda re tshwaragane maphata a rona a itshireletso otlhe a ke ba se sole a ke ba se podisi a ka re bona nako le nako ha re le mo tirong re na le brigadier a lebeletse kgaolo e ka kwano.
Minister Musi says a safe country is a beacon of hope for its people and investors. Therefore, 28 police stations will be constructed this coming financial year, the Northeast District included.
So remo projecting ya go aga di police station di le 28. Di police station tse tsotlhe di na le matlo mo go tsone, di na le sengwe le sengwe mo go tsone. Ke tla re mo kgweding e tlang ha ke re ke diegile ke tla be ke di rola di simolodisiwa di anamele ha tshelelo tletse di 28 ke le tswame ke go re ngwa go tlang ha wa hihing e be tsotlhe di wetse di na le matlo di na le dikoloi di na le drone mo teng di na le sengwe le sengwe di na le mapodisi a stock theft a ileng gore a tla ba lwantsha gone bone bogodi ja leruo.
The Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Solomon Manzi, says it took more time than expected to complete this project, which started in 2021, as they had to terminate the initial contract for poor performance. But despite the setbacks, it was built on budget.
Tiro ena e wetse ko ntle ga di kgwetlho tseo ne ra idigela mme re dumela gore e wetse sentle ebile e wetse e sa tlola madi ona ne le gore e ne ya fila gore ka sekgwa go itlo go it was e wetse e le on budget ga ra dirisa madi a fitileng a ne ra file so re leboga thata ba tsa karolo ba botlhe ba ne ba dira gore thulaganyo e wele.
The community is employed to join hands with the Botswana police and volunteer on border patrols to bring to an end illegal activities taking place in the corridors of Botswana and Zimbabwe. Bethany Manto, BTV News, Mapoka.
The Botswana General Certificate of Secondary Education BGCSE exam results have been released. The Minister of Education and Skills Development, Dr. Douglas Letsolatebe, says there has been an overall improvement in the exam results across the grades in 2023 as compared to 2022. Dr. Letsolatebe announced the release of the results today at Botswana Examination Council's headquarters in Gaborone. Tsolofelo Tombale.
36,509 candidates sat for the Botswana General Certificate of Secondary Education examinations in 2023 and at a media conference to declare that their results have been released. It was revealed that there has been an improvement in results in 2023 as compared to 2022.
The proportion of grades at C or better is 32.30 compared to 31.17%, indicating an improvement of 1.13%. The proportion of grades A or better is 3.70 from 3.19 in 2022.
The minister said the results show that generally, for the past 4 years, there has been an improvement across the grades in the performance of candidates.
A gradual improvement of C's or better has been observed since 2019, indicating an improvement in the quality of performance. The proportion of candidates achieving 6 E's or better is 62.28 compared to 62.59 in 2022. See that it's also improved.
It was also highlighted that this year's examinations involved conventional marking and electronic marking.
A total of 32 components were marked electronically compared to 9 in 2022. These shows success as e-marking has many benefits, among them increased efficiency with less time taken on processing of the results, elimination of human error, and finally the provision of more data for analysis to inform different assessment.
To add to the positive results, 20 candidates compared to 14 in 2022 emerged as top achievers with 6 A stars. Tsolofelo Tombale, BTV News, Gaborone.
The chairman of Boteti West Beef Farmers Association, Mr. Solomon Engleton, says preparations are at an advanced stage for the inaugural Boteti West Beef Farmers Expo, which will be held on Saturday in Rugby. The main objective of the expo is to train and empower local cattle farmers on good animal husbandry and practices that could help them get returns on their investment. Sabaitsing Taboho reports.
Preparations are underway for the first Boteti West Beef Farmers Expo, which will be hosted by the newly established Boteti West Beef Farmers Association, which covers all 13 villages in the Boteti West constituency. The main objective of this expo is to train and empower local cattle farmers, as well as exchanging ideas on good practices of cattle rearing that can help them get return on investment.
Ba di farmera tsa rona jaaka ba ba ko mo re go bitsa ko merake ko dipolase ba na le ha le go thabolotswe le ruo le ha go se go lekane jaanong thata le ruo le lentsi ke le monokeng mo ga rona kopana hela jaanong ha ka kwa kgona go le thabolola sente la ha ile ka yone kgwediso ka diata tota o ka se o dire le ruo le gasa memo jaanong go leka go dira jaana ke gone gore jaanong re tle re kgone gore re itse gore leruo la rona re le tlhokomela ja le gone tota thekiso le thekiso ya leruo la bone e tla tokagala thata ka gobane dithuto tsotlhe di akareditse one di kgantsentse ke di buaga.
Mr. Engleton explained that despite hiccups during the preparations for the event, they are ready to host.
20 year kopanyelong ke ra e tona e re bonye ke ya gore re ntse re sena one kana structure kana masaka ona a ka direlo a ditshupo tse dintse jana mo teng ka gore gompieno yana re dirisa masaka ile gore ke a thekiso re leka go a thabolola go rabe mo seemo sa gore ha go ta go demonstratiwa ha go bo go khona gore go thuse bone ba demonstrator ba gore ba kgone go tshwara dikgomo mo thogo mme re leka ka bojothe gore tsatsing jeno le sengwe be se apere tshiamo.
The expo, which is supported by the Office of the Vice President, will be held this coming Saturday of the 9th. Sebastian Tebogo, BTV News, Ray Corps.
The Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Mr. Pono Moatlhodi, says Botswana Speaks program intends to empower Parliament to fulfill its mandate through the use of technology as a platform to exchange ideas between government and the community. He recently said this at a Khotla meeting in Kopong during Botswana Speaks program activation. Budulo Mkhorosi.
Botswana Speaks program came into being last year July in two parts, which is you speak and speak for yourself, as a way of bringing Parliament closer to people to play a role in governance.
Lenaneo le la Botswana Speaks me maikelo magolo e le go nonotsa Palamente go dirisa maranyane gore tiro ya rona ya go buelela batlhophi le go dira melao. Botswana Speaks e dirisa maranyane a motlho go dirisiwa ke setšhaba go aroganya matshwenyego le megopolo. E dirisa melaetsa khutshwe go romela baemedi ba bona.
Botswana Speaks program has been cited as a Botswana voice in governance through the use of technology.
Botswana mongwe le mongwe ha le nteng. A o dumalana le boeteledipele a o ganetsang boeteledipele e ra lentswe la gago. Go di bua lentswe la gago le wena. Bua lentswe la gago. Re boela go sethung se le sa rona sa Botswana sa Setswana se se reng mahoko a kgotla a mante otlhe. Mongwe le mongwe a nne le lentswe la gago. Gore lentswe la gago le utlwale ko moemeding wa gago.
Botswana Speaks e tsamaelana le dinako tsa gompieno tse botshelo bo ikaegileng thata ka maranyane ebile lefatshe ka bophara le dirisa maranyane mo go tsa matshelo a batho mo gae le tsone tsa itsholelo tota. Botshelo ntle le maranyane ga bo motlhofo.
Area MP for Lentswele Tau, Ms. Naniki Makwinja, has urged the community to make use of this program, citing that it will speed up government services to people and assist in making informed decisions well in time.
Are se karare ga re tsenye maina a rona mo Botswana Speaks ke ditirelo tse leng gore di le tshwanetse le ka SMS la o kgona go kwalla ba ofisi ba go tsenyetsa mo teng. Ofisi e tle be isa ko Parlamenteng gona le ba dira le tsone di issue tse ko Parlamenteng.
Go mo go rona jaanong gore re dirisa maranyane tsotlhe tse nne di re tshwanetse le di re netse se tlabo se saletse rona gore re se dirise go hitlhella se le maikaelelo a rona ke o puisano le netse ya gore le ka hitlhella jang ko mo Parlamenteng wa lona.
The community has been encouraged to use Botswana Speaks program, hence its main focus is to encourage people to benefit from government opportunities and also to comment in Parliament discussion. Budulo Moros, BTV News, Kopo.
The coordinator of mental health in Kalahari South, Mr. Offense Kemwabe, says people should normalize having conversations with their families, colleagues and friends about mental health issues, as it could help reduce stigma around mental health. He said the stigma attached to mental health makes it difficult for people to seek assistance and treatment freely. Mr. Kemwabe said this during an interview with Botswana Television about mental health issues.
Tsabong Hospital has a mental health wing solely dedicated to helping those going through stressful times to receive help and go back to being functional members of society. Mr. Kemwabe says major mental health illnesses include anxiety, personality, psychotic and bipolar disorders, and those displaying such should seek medical intervention.
o kgona go itlhala le gore o nnile part e leng gore e mo thusitse tota ba tshologela mo go yana itlhala le gore motho a modimo o tsamaya through a lot mo e le gore na a tlhoka wena hela gore o mo reetse ha ebile o fila gore o mo reeditse mme ga o kgone go mo thusa mo refere to the services tse di teng mo dipateleng jalo jalo.
The society is called upon to treat those suffering from severe mental illnesses with love and care.
Go ka go a patagana go na le go ka mo sepatela le go ka ko lapeng go ka mo tona ke gona ga ko lapeng ka gore tota ke lona lo nna le batho ko lapeng ke rona re ba itseng botoka ene ntse ke bua ga o mputse go tswe teng gore se se botlhokwa ke gore re itsane le rona la re le ko lapeng re tshwanetse gore re itsane re le batsalwa le rona re itsane le malome ke motho o ntseng jang re kgone go lemogana ha ile gore motho o na le go gatelelwa ke maikutlo.
Mana ke na le stress ke bua le bonkgone le o lady maikutlo a ka ba hela go tlhatse ba hela ba ngaeda go itlhala maikutlo a ka hela go tlhatse because stress ke so se batlang gore o se tlhagane le batho ka gore ha o le wana go iphitlhela go ikgapetse botshelo ke ha stress se nteng se ntseng ka teng
ke ra gore ha go na le mogakolo go di ha go wena gara mma ke 1 2 3 o tshwanetse gore o reetse motho yo wa bona le wena ha le ha o le go ga gago le ha o ka tlasa tana tla go a go etela ka bona go bua o bo gopola mahoko a mme o go reetse ngara.
Mr. Kemwabe said it is vital for government departments and private companies to host health seminars to teach employees about the importance of taking care of their overall well-being in order to be productive at work and home.
The Assistant Minister in the Ministry for State, President Ms. Boitumelo Famodimu, says that women's ability is of utmost importance to the elevation of Botswana's economy going forth. She further praised women for their contribution in the steady growth of the agriculture and trade sectors in the SADC region. The Assistant Minister made the remarks when giving her International Women's Day message this morning.
To this day, a woman is still considered the nation's backbone based on her ability to build and shape the future of a generation in various aspects. With that, the United Nations saw it befitting to set aside this particular day to celebrate women on their contribution to economic development.
Everywhere globally, trade is an engine of growth. We know that. This is why we talk about trade. We see everywhere, women everywhere, from Bomasmausu to businesses in general. They create jobs. The findings were that women play a significant role in trade and agriculture, because we're looking at these two sectors. They play a significant role. The women contribute more than 60% of total food trade. They provide the largest labor force in agriculture.
Even though the government continues to make strides that calls for women inclusivity by formulating responsive policies and programs, there are some areas that are lagging behind.
We are trying. There are areas where we are doing relatively well. There are areas where we still have to do more. We have to do more, of course, in the political landscape. That is where we still have to do more. You know the numbers. When we sit in Parliament, only 11% of us. It is not just about politicking. It is about the role that politicians have in development.
This year's theme emphasizes the importance of investing in women to accelerate progress, one applauded by women as it resonates with the nation's vision of inclusivity.
Ra bona gore re thusa jang le bone bana ba rena ba batlang go tla se ba batla nna basadi re ba rotloetseng re meng ka dinao
re ka eletsa thata gore go belediwe thata mo bomme ba hiwe support yotlhe gore ba kgone go godisa bana ba kgone go ikemela ba kgone le bone ba tle ba godise itshulelo ya Botswana.
To achieve this goal, nonetheless, women joining forces was pointed out as key to make the journey towards Vision 2036 clearer. Mang, BTV News, Gaborone.
Ms. Botswana Lesego Chombo will be the highlight of the day tomorrow as she will walk the ramp at the Miss World Grand Finale in India. The acting director at the Department of Broadcasting Services, Mr. Vusaziga, has confirmed that Botswana Television will broadcast live this grand occasion. BTV News reporter Wabetsu Mpulubusi has been following the trail of achievements of Botswana's beacon of hope in activities leading up to the most awaited grand finale.
Botswana across the country will be able to watch the live broadcast of the 71st edition of the Miss World Grand Finale on Botswana Television. This follows the Department of Broadcasting Services partnerships and procurement of exclusive rights to broadcast the event live.
Over the years, we have, as BTV, been buying rights to the Miss World pageant wherever it has happened, and to some of our initiatives of supporting the creative industry. We are in partnership with a company called Development Advanced Institute, which holds the rights to the local Miss Botswana. So these people are responsible for taking Miss Botswana to Miss World. So we have a partnership with them for a period of about 3 years, where they're going to be producing content based around Miss Botswana. So the current Miss Botswana, Lesego Chombo, her numbers are very impressive. She's been very impressive in many respective competitions that are held throughout Miss World. And when you see content like that, is compelling content that Botswana want to see. And I hear a lot of church people, a lot of groups are really praying and pushing for her to possibly be the first Botswana to win the Miss World pageant. So we couldn't be left out, because if we don't bring it to Botswana, ordinary Botswana, who are not able to watch this on pay TV channels, they would have missed. So we saw it as very wise to invest in this. The rights come at around $5,000 US to get the broadcast rights. And the reason why it's like that is because Botswana, as a local pageant, Miss Botswana, is affiliated to Miss World.
Lesego Chombo's much expectation of a win this year will place Botswana at a better place, as it's currently bidding to host the 2026 Miss World. The Department of Broadcasting Services also assures the nation of the same support should Botswana win the bid.
As a department, we've invested quite a lot in the Miss Botswana pageant. The reason why we made this investment, and as part of the initiating or facilitating the creative industry, it is not only about the likes of Lesego Chombo that get to benefit. You know, when these events are held, there's quite a lot of industries or value chain. The value chain, we're exploiting the value chain around the beauty industry. You can see that by doing this and the amount of money that we put in, actually the money is not only geared towards just this company, but a lot of people who provide service around hosting such an event get to benefit.
Churches, businesses and social communities across the country have optimized on this live broadcast and will be hosting watch parties of Miss World Grand Finale at various places on Saturday. Wabetsu Mpulubusi, BTV News, Gaborone.
Assistant Minister of Education and Skills Development, Mr. Omri Lesaso, says government has taken steps to address challenges encountered by the engineering fraternity in efforts to complete development projects within time and budget. In light of promoting efficiency in this sector, government introduced the development managers model to address delays in national projects, as well as to fast-track completion of ongoing projects before the end of the current financial year. Mr. Lesaso said this at the Engineering Forum in Gaborone. Terry Makoing.
The development manager model will ensure projects are delivered in time, reducing the risk of cost overruns by covering the full scope of engineering. The engineering fraternity is encouraged to prioritize excellence in all aspects of their practice.
It is worth a mention that government has faced challenges acquiring engineering services and products from the engineering fraternity. Among these are lack of skills and competence in project implementation, poor maintenance planning for existing facilities, which results in their premature dilapidation, abandoned projects, delivery of substandard engineering work, increase in engineering and related litigation, bulging project cost overruns on public works. Government, through the Ministry of Transport and Public Works, was however decisive and introduced the development manager model to ensure timely delivery of major projects. The engineering fraternity should therefore be intentional about building excellence into all facets of engineering practice.
The engineering board is working tirelessly to gain recognition from the Washington Accord.
Why do we need to actually align with international best practice benchmarks like the International Engineering Alliance? We believe that with proper alignment and implementation, it will actually guarantee us quality of education and competence development. That is for the issues of accreditation and registration. IEA promotes mutual recognition of qualifications through the accords. I guess we had Rugby talking to the Washington Accords. There are Sydney Accords, there are Dublin Accords that also deal with engineering technologists and engineering technicians. And it also facilitates global mobility.
This fourth engineering forum is held annually with the purpose of establishing the challenges faced by the sector and how they can be resolved. Terry Makhoeng, BTV News, Gaborone.
Collaboration between the University of Botswana, National Agricultural Research and Development Institute, NADI, and support from the Ministry of Minerals and Energy in production of biodiesel has been cited as essential for the country to produce its own fuel. Minister of Minerals and Energy, Mr. Lefoko Moagi, said the success of such a project will be cost-effective to the government as it will reduce the importation of fuel from other countries. Minister Moagi revealed this during a meeting held to share the research success of biodiesel. Kumiso Mapanyane reports.
A research that was carried out some years ago about the production of biodiesel has yielded positive results, showing no threat to emission of carbon gases that can damage the environment. And as of now, companies like BOTSWANA rely heavily on the use of biodiesel as they have started using it for internal operations. Minister Moagi said the fuel has no impact that can contribute to global warming.
Recognizing that the shift to clean energy requires a departure from continued use of fossil fuels, the government of Botswana has already initiated measures to promote renewable energy and energy efficiency, which are key to attaining a reasonable low-carbon economy. Our strategic policies and investment strategies aim to create a conducive environment and business landscape that provides for a hastened growth of renewable energy sources such as biodiesel, solar, and wind, amongst others.
The acting vice-chancellor at the University of Botswana, Mr. David Kaske, said their effort has a huge impact to the communities as well as creating employment opportunities.
There is a lot that we can say about the benefits to our economy, to job creation and upliftment of lives, if we are able to establish a biodiesel industry in the country. With our new strategy, the university seeks to play a more central role in the development of Botswana's knowledge economy through impactful research and productive engagement with all stakeholders, including industry, business, government, and communities. And this project is an example of our actualization of this strategy.
We do biodiesel, that means demand fuel. Again, biodiesel production, they are to contribute towards using cleaner fuels. So the whole world is actually pressurizing all the countries to actually reduce the contamination of the environment.
Minister further said during this process, more people will be sent to training to capacitate them and upgrade their skills. Kumiso Mapanyani, BTV News, Tlokwe.
It is time for sports with Khosego Nkwe. Khosego?
Good evening.
Well, ma'am, happy Women's Day.
Yes, happy International Women's Day to you too, Your Highness.
Did you get a rose? Thank you, ma'am.
A rose?
Yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately.
Please proceed.
But it shall be well.
Okay.
Though it shall be well.
Please proceed, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I understand you refused the rose. That's why I'm asking.
I refused the rose?
Yes, ma'am.
How come?
But please...
I would never do such a thing. I would never do that.
Please proceed.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Khomso. And greetings to you all. As he has already mentioned, I'm Khosego, bringing to you Botswana Tonight Sports News. And with that, let's get straight into it. In celebration of International Women's Day, Botswana National Olympic Committee, in partnership with the French Embassy, held a panel discussion on gender-based violence, stereotypes, and fostering inclusion and success. The panel discussion, which was held in Gaborone, was led by the chairperson of the Gender Committee at BNOC, Tebosa, and the panelists were the Vice President of Women in Sports, Nozi Payet, Vice Captain of the Men's, Nondima Tlasela, local boxing champion, Letabo Mudukanele, and former professional basketball player Malebogo Molefe. Tlamelo Monsusi reports.
The chairperson of the Gender Committee at BNOC, Tebosa, says the partnership with the French Embassy comes at the right time as Botswana is preparing to send athletes to this year's Paris Olympics. Sekhaisi highlighted the importance of standing for women's rights and giving them the necessary support.
In order to celebrate women in sport, the French Embassy, together with the Botswana National Olympic Committee, have collaborated and have chosen to zoom into gender-based violence, equal pay, and inclusion under the theme Women in Sports, Combating GBV and Stereotypes, Fostering Inclusion and Success.
One of the panelists, Malebogo Molefe, says she is a victim of gender-based violence, which left her wheelchair-bound. And for this reason, she chose to be a disability and gender rights activist.
I was unfortunately attacked and shot by my former partner 8 times, and he then took his life, which is a very sad reality to the many encounters that we see of the escalating numbers of gender-based violence in the country, which we're trying to advocate against. And this is the inspiration behind me being a gender activist and also a disability rights activist, because then I started and pioneered the wheelchair basketball tournaments in Botswana, which we successfully held for the past 5 years.
The Vice President of WASBO, Nozi Payet, says they are fighting for the inclusion of women in leadership roles and to increase women participation in sports.
The objectives are, or the big objective is to promote equity in sports for girls and the girl child, to open opportunities or to help them access equal opportunities in sports for the athletes, and then for those who want to be in the administrative positions, we try and support them to accede to those.
Nondima Tlasela and Letabo Mudukanele says they are happy with the progress they have seen this far.
I play football, and it's never easy to swim through in a male-dominated sport. But I'm living proof today to say I'm here, and I've went through all those obstacles and did my best to be here and say we have done it, we are going to do it again this year.
Because of the people that I surrounded myself with in boxing, you know, they instilled it in me and made sure to let me know that if anything ever were to happen, if you were ever to feel uncomfortable or just, you know, alert us immediately so that we can take action.
The International Women's Day is celebrated under the theme Invest in Women, which aims to accelerate progress in addressing issues of economic disempowerment of women. Tlamelo Monsusi, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now shifting focus into rugby. UB Rhinos Rugby Club coach Emmanuel Masinki says a zero-injury squad will be a major boost ahead of the crucial encounter against the Canon Joggers in the semi-finals of the Knockout Cup on Saturday at Livingston Gulben College in Gaborone. Victoria Duncan has more.
UB Rhinos booked a space in the semi-finals after walloping BD of Cheetahs 21-9 in the quarter-finals. Coach Masinke pointed out that despite 0 injuries and suspensions in the team, they have lost several players to other teams. He, however, noted that this shall not be an obstacle as they know their opponents very well.
We've lost Waizipiri, we've lost Mateo Lekam, we've also lost Damien. But maybe one also needs to be content because we've just recently secured the services of Tony Kendoda, who is a fullback, and his progress with Rhinos has been nothing but impressive. We've had a privilege of watching Jaguars play, so we've noted with keen interest their weaknesses or areas that they need to work on, and also their strengths.
Canon Jaguars, on the other hand, thrashed Boto Riders 22-0 at the quarterfinals. Team captain Tafazo Ncube said their game against UB Rhinos won't be an easy ride, as they have shown several times that they are not an easy nut to crack.
The areas that we've been working on are the tackling areas, because they like a team who will explore you if you don't have support in terms when you go into contact. So we are working tirelessly on fixing our support in terms of someone going in with the ball. And again, our defense. We have a couple of injuries on our key players, but we managed to replace them with some few guys who have been coming in.
Another Saturday semi-final encounter will feature Gaborone Hawks and BD of Cheetahs at Warwick Park Ground. Victoria Dakin, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And still in the Knockout Cup, UB Rhinos head coach Thapelo Kanda says he's satisfied with their training despite the several changes they made to the squad as they prepare to take on Boost in the quarterfinals of the Rugby Knockout Cup to be played at Livingston Kolobeng College in Gaborone. Victoria Dakin continues.
Kanda noted that they managed to beef up their squad with 4 new players this year, adding that they will also use this chance to give an opportunity to some of their players who were unable to play in the Rugby Sevens tournament.
We have Launa Moses. She is new. She's never. The last time she played, I think it was a high school rugby back before COVID. The other one is Mara Makolo. She's starting rugby, but we're going to try her over the weekend to see what she can give us. We also have Patience Kobake, who used to play for the Boost Buffalo Ladies. We also have One.
Kanda, however, said they will go into the Saturday encounter without 2 of their key players due to injuries.
Pearl Ribbon is injured and is out for the rest of the year. And also our captain, Lebogang Kelapile, is out with a knee injury, but we expect her in the next month. So we are giving her only a month or so.
Boost, on the other hand, started their training 2 weeks ago in preparation for the Saturday game. According to their head coach, Katlaho Mompati, they have been working on improving the players' mental and physical state, something she said will help them do well on Saturday.
We are planning to dominate the whole game physically, and what we want to do is to play the whole game to our own advantage. Currently, all the players are available for the game that will be playing on Saturday. We don't have any suspensions due to any injury or any red cards.
In another Saturday encounter, Gaborone Hawks lock horns with BU Riders at Warwick Park. Victoria Dakin, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now jumping into football, in what promises to be a thrill of a game, Police 11 will take on 11 Angels in the Orange FA Cup round of last at 32 at the WOTSWANA Stadium on Saturday. Sehola Mayeng has more details of the game.
Police 11 go into this encounter well aware of how 11 Angels play, as both teams have met before in the same competition. Police will, however, look to progress to the next round despite having to do without 4 regular players due to injuries. The Jungle Kings are adamant that they will win the match.
Immediately after we played a league game against 11 Angels, we knew very well that we are going to play them on a Saturday now in a different competition, which is Orange FA Cup. So therefore, we started switching on to prepare for them. In the field of play, we are okay, we are determined, we are bringing new strategies that we are hoping that it will bear us fruits in terms of giving us the results that we are looking forward. Because as we prepare, we are focusing on to go through to the last 60.
11 Angels, on the other hand, also come into the encounter with the aim of marching on to the next round. Lekhamula Bananyana will be banking on the likes of Bakampatani, Huizone Motswari, and Fungai Muzila to take them to the promised land. The last time both teams met in February in a league match in which they shared the spoils.
We drew 1-1, of course, last time out. They surprised us. They changed completely the way they play. They changed completely the way they do things, everything set pieces. And then I think from that game, we've learned a lot. From that single game where we drew last time out, I think it's the last game we've played in the league. We drew 1-1. We learned they've changed, and then we've learned how they changed, how they transit, how they defend set pieces, how they play set pieces. It's different from the way they were doing things because of the new coach. And yes, we have a few injuries. I think Homole Mobuka, the midfielder, has been out for a long time. He's been missing, I think, for 3 to 4 months now. And then Kuziani Sibanda, another midfielder, last time out against Police 11, he started the game. In fact, he played the whole game, and then he's out now with flu. And then I think the rest of the boys are okay to play with.
Both teams know each other very well, as they have met 4 times before this encounter, where Police won twice and they shared the spoils on 2 occasions. In other matches scheduled for the weekend, Galaxy will welcome Hurgos to the Galaxy Stadium, while Tafik will be in Hukunzi for a date with St. Diamonds at the St. Diamonds ground. Nico United will be up against the Muruplu Wanderers at Samson Stadium, while Tau Young Strikers takes on Chadibe FC at Tau Arena. Township Rollers will be Kazungula Young Fighters visitors, while Zabothe and Mohoisen Fighters will play it out at Soroy Sports Complex. Masitaka will be up against Security Systems at Dinaledi Academy in the only Sunday fixture. Sahwalame, Baeng, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is all that we had for you from Botswana Tonight Sports News. Until we meet tomorrow, have a blessed night. Now let me bring it back to Khomuso to give you the headlines of tonight. Khomuso.
Thank you so much, Khosoro. Have yourself a fantastic evening. I know you will be up to watch the Miss World Grand Finale, like many of us in this country.
It's very important. Let's go chombo to the world. Let's go rona hashtag.
You are manifesting as you speak.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
The crown is here in Botswana.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's meet again some other time. Have yourself a fantastic weekend.
Oh, yes. You too, ma'am.
That was Khosoro Nkwe giving us the latest in sports. And let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. New commissioners of Botswana Police Service and Botswana Prisons sworn in. BGCSE results out. UB Rhino and Canon Jaguars face off in the Knockout Cup semi-finals. That's all that we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. BTV News, Ikanya Rona, hashtag BW Mindset Change. Up next is the weather update.
Hello and welcome to tonight's weather forecast. I'm Proud Victoria Kusian. Let's start off by looking at rainfall amounts recorded this morning at 8 a.m. We have 12 millimeters at Pitane BDF Camp and Khoro Primary School, 10 at Sisu Primary School and Palape Police Station, 7 millimeters at Nwapa Primary School and Khomokasito Primary School, 3 at West Hana High Primary School, and a few drops at Hansi Meteorological Station and Jwaneng Meteorological Station. Looking at tonight's satellite image is showing mostly partly cloudy conditions across much of Botswana. For tomorrow, we're expecting mostly partly cloudy conditions countrywide with isolated thunder showers except for southern Kalahari. We're also expecting Fresh to strong winds of around 26 to 36 kilometers per hour over Kalahadi, Khanti, central and northeast area. In the morning, warm temperatures of around 18 over Tsabo, Middle Peats and Box Peats. But for the rest of the country, we're expecting hot temperatures ranging between 20 over Nojane, Maum and Francistown to 24 over Suapen and Letlhakan. In the afternoon, extremely hot temperatures over Kalahadi, Khanti and northern central ranging between 39 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. For the remaining areas of Botswana, we're expecting very hot temperatures ranging between 36 over Gumare and Shakawe to 38 over Maum, Mahalape and Gaborone. On Sunday, we're expecting mostly partly cloudy conditions with isolated thunder showers over Ngamile and Khanti, Kalahadi, southern southeast Gauteng and Kweni. Temperature-wise, we're expecting extremely hot temperatures over Kalahadi between 39 to 40 degrees Celsius. But for the rest of the country, very hot temperatures are expected ranging between 36 over Jwaneng, Gaborone, Francistown and Shakawe to 38 over much of Khanti, Letlhakane and Maung. That's the weather forecast. Have yourself a good night.
Raha gompieno ile gore ba setse ba thibeletse ebile ba setse ba jetse ditlhare tse ile gore jaanong di setse di ntshitse maungo a ile gore ke one tla reng ka di 21 be ile gore tautona wa go etella pele setšhaba gone go hula maungo a go supetsa setšhaba gore gomo go a kgonega ebile go teng mo Botswana tla a simolodisa semmuso go hula one maungo a boa a tsengwa mo di pack house tsa bone ha ile gore a tlhothiwa teng gore a siameng ke a he a sa siamang ke a he a ba ka tsengwa mo mabokosong a ile gore jaanong a ka pegwa a ya ko Europa ko ile gore ba bone mmaraka teng mebaraka e mengwe